Hello everyone, Matt here, and welcome to Train Sim World 2. We're here today on Sandpatch Grade here at Cumberland Yard, about to be doing a yard job in a GP38-2 number 2742, and our service is Y105. Today's timetable is back into service, where we will be taking a cut of rail cars and, just like the title says, putting them back into service. So let's go ahead and hop into our beautiful YN3B scheme, GP38-2. Go ahead and climb aboard, close the door behind us, get in the engineer's seat, and let's go ahead and get this locomotive all set up. First up, let's check to make sure all our switches are set. Control and fuel pump is on, generator field, we'll put that on, and engine run is already set to on. The gauge lights, we'll turn that on, very washed out, but they're on regardless. Step lights are already on, and the ditch lights will turn on as well. Can't forget the front headlights, put those to bright. Now this is literally the 6th time I've tried to do this, and I could not get the brakes to work correctly. So let's see if we can fix that here. And so far, I'm not fixing it. Okay, well anyways, cutout valve should be set to freight. The MU2A valve should be set to trail. 626 or 6 or 26. I'll just keep independent brake on. Let's put automatic brake on release. I've had issues with this because I still had brake cylinder pressure here, which doesn't make any sense. It should be off. So let's just keep changing this around. See, okay, now it goes to 20%. Cut out. Oh, because we have independent brakes still on. Okay, that makes sense. Ah, goodness. Well, now it should be working. Let's put the reverser in. Let's put that to forward. Put the bell on. 2 blasts of the horn, and we're away. Yeah, I need to read the manual for this again, or do the intro for this, because obviously I don't understand how the brakes work at all, which is a bit embarrassing, but I digress. Welcome to Train Sim World 2. Let's go ahead and turn the bell off here. What a sim. I think there's a lot of good coming out of this sim, and I'm just really impressed by how it looks, especially the graphics are pretty good. First impressions, the wheels are turning, unlocked achievement, very good. First impression wise, the graphics and the surrounding scenery is phenomenal, in my opinion. It's definitely a step up. Haven't had too many frame drop issues. I'll be curious to see if I do get those with larger consists, such as those here on CSX Heavy Haul. So we'll have to check those out. But otherwise, performance, it seems to be working perfectly fine. The HUD, which again, just this is first thoughts of it, looking at it for the first time. I'm not too fond of it at first, but I think, oh my gosh, I'm failing at this destination really bad. It is definitely better than Train Sim World 2020, I feel. There's a lot of good improvements to it. All right, we have 4 coaches to couple up to. Let's make sure these are set. Switch that over. Switch that one to the left, and that one to the right. And we have 4 of them. Very good. Let's go ahead and put this in reverse. Oh, I don't know why I still had throttle on. That was annoying. Okay. 3 blasts of the horn to go backwards. And we'll go ahead and go to the external rear camera just so we can see what we're doing. But yeah, in regards to the HUD, like especially the HUD on the bottom right, it gives you all of your, well, the previous HUD gave you the notch and the power numbers, which were great. but this one directly shows and tells you how much automatic brake you have, or in this case for the American locos, you have that, you have your independent brake, and I think when you do your dynamic brake, it will also show that. But it also, when you press X to switch which brake you use, it also switches there on the bottom. So it's really helpful to see what you actually have on if you miss the little notification thing on the top right. You have all your brake pressure numbers and things like that on the left-hand side, which the only one that really matters for most people is the very bottom one that says BP. The others I'll have to read into what those mean and what those stand for. Then you have obviously your gradient on the far right as well. I forget which controller scheme I'm on, but I'm not on the default one that it sends you to. I changed mine to the classic one that was originally set on the original Train Sim world. So, because it's just a familiar controller scheme on the Xbox One controller than the new one that they gave. So you can see when I press Y, it changes from the camera modes, and you can see that in the very top left of the bottom right HUD, if that makes sense. What's nice, I complained about this in the previous version, but the coupling point is not to the center of the car, but it is now to the front of the car. So you get an accurate yardage, if you want to call it that, to the couple. However, it is still in relation to you as the driver in that cab. It is not from the couple of your loco, whichever direction you're headed. So that's the only thing that is still driving me crazy, that it should be from couple to couple that the distance is put in, not from your person. But regardless, this is still an improvement, that it gives that distance right at the couple right there. Okay, so we stopped our loco there. We're just gonna go ahead and slowly move it back and see what we're doing here. Put initial brakes on. There we go. That was a nice couple. Keep the brakes on for a split second here. Wait a moment. See what it tells us to do. Objective complete. Alright, so stop as indicated. Let's go ahead and go back to the engineer's seat here. And let's go ahead and check out our map to see where we need to go. And we're just pulling him forward that way. Very good. Let's go ahead and move the reverser forward. To blast the horn. And we will get moving. Alright, next up, I've just noticed this, is the position of where you sit. In this particular locomotive, at least, in the GP38-2, and it might be the same for the SD40-2, is you sit higher up in the cab, so you can. I think you do. I haven't spent so much time, but this feels higher up than what I originally remember, which is nice because you can easily see out these two windows, and you're not, this console is not in your way, it's not like it's very hard to see out the front windows. You have a little bit more visibility, so that is super nice. If we go out here, I noticed that, that's gonna do that window. Can I do the mirror? Well, I noticed that the mirror here does actually have a reflection on it, so I'm curious if we're able to maybe flip that mirror out if there's another camera angle I can go to. That's the right. Oh, cool. And then you can use the arrow keys to check out your dash there as well. Let's see. I'm straying away from things I want to talk about just quickly. Ooh, look, another train. Intermodal being hauled by an SD40-2, I believe. Yeah. AC 4400 just behind. Very nice, very nice. It's nice to see some activity on the lines. Let's go ahead and just get to the stop at indicator. I need to turn that indicator off because I like just having it in the top right there for the most part. Let's get the brakes. Let's stop. That's not going to be pretty. There we go. We're stopped. Objective complete, and we're gonna couple to 9 more cars. And yeah, we're just putting them in a consist down further. Switch that lever there. That switch is good. That switch is good, and that one needs to go to the left. And this one right here, that one is also good as well. Oh, when I hit B to exit it, I keep hitting the alerter, which is funny. Alright, let's put the reverser to reverse, put the brakes off, 3 blasts of the horn, and we will be backing up. Let's go to the front camera here. Take a look at the consist as we go backwards. The next thing I want to talk about is just the general HUD. You might notice it on the top left a bit and on the top right, but the new fonts that they used in this sim is somewhat appealing. For the most part, it looks okay. However, I think it's too narrow and too squished. I really liked the original font that was in the original Train Sim world, but this can be hard to read sometimes. So I'm not too fond of that. I'm okay with the digital clock kind of style that they use for the time in the top left, as well as a lot of the brake pressures and the gradient percentage and things like that. I kind of like how they did that. It's not too bad, but the font that's just narrow and squished, it is not visually appealing in my opinion. I think it could be hard to read for some people. Yeah, I'm just not really fond of it. But I do like the layout of things. It just looks modern. It looks cool, something new. Not too opposed to that, really. I think it's a really good step. I think one of the devs talked about it, especially for Sandpatch Grade, but pretty much everywhere you look, there are trees. It kind of gets cut out there in the distance, but there's a boatload of trees, and I know they're all, highly detailed trees. And like I said, I haven't had too many frame rate issues, so it's pretty phenomenal. Well, let's go ahead and slow this train down because we need to stop. It's pretty phenomenal how smooth this is running. And it's just good that it's, performance-wise, things are optimized fairly well. Let's go ahead and focus on getting us stopped here. A little bit more initial reduction. And just the behavior so far of the train cars and the locomotives themselves. I need to read more into detail on what they added, but I know that each car is now weighed. It's not simulated. It's like each car has its own weight, and it just, the initial move on a heavy freight load seems to be very smooth. So it seems like there's just a lot of fixes really for this. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the engineer's seat. Let's go ahead and get these cars uncoupled. Brakes are making some very weird sounds, which is not good. Let's hit that. Couple that. Run back to the locomotive. Objective complete. And we will stop as indicated here, which is just back to where we came from. So let's put the reverser back to forward. Make sure the brakes are off. 3 blasts of the horn. Put in a notch 2 and get moving. yeah, again, this is just a quick glance kind of video. Just quickly getting on the sim and trying it out for a bit. My goal is to read through the latest articles of Train Sim World 2, or at least read through the original one that detailed all the things that they added into the sim. So I want to at least touch on them and do a mini review of them. There's other people that can do better reviews than I can, people who already have, like the Mole Man. He's done a lot of Train Sim World 2 content, and definitely check him out on YouTube. But I want to go through and give you guys my personal thoughts on how I feel about them, and if I think, you know, they've improved them, if they're, you know, the things that they've added, if they're, you know, worth it. And I'll definitely in like a month's time do a video on, you know, what I think should be fixed, what should be improved, and possibly what could be added down the line as well. But overall, I'm really happy on where this is at. You know, getting onto this for the first time today has been a real treat, and just to know that things are, you know, it's basically the same sim, you know, but the just quality of life improvements, the general improvements, performance improvements, the simulation aspect of everything has been improved greatly. So it is good to see, and we got a gold star for that and some action points as well. And so let's go ahead and I will return to free roam here. So let's go ahead and just get out of the locomotive, up on out. The service will start at 1600, yeah, so it won't be going anywhere. But yeah, that will be that from us, or from me at least. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more Train Sim World 2 content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like this video, enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts on Train Sim World 2 if you played it already. And maybe anything that you guys want me to test down the road. Be sure to leave them down in the comments. With that, that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.